you're doing any exercises, weightlifting or anything for that matter, I would just do that in the morning, first thing, without having a bigger portion of fiber. Then it goes protein and then the carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the food is tasting good, okay, and also you'll see the difference,
Correct.
the way you feel and your family feels. It's just an
Agree.
amazing experience.
Nutritionist saying that,
Yeah.
right? That hey, everything starts from your mental
Mental,
energy,
yes.
and then it goes into your food.
Food
So
and
yeah,
like
that's
a style, right? In like,
yeah,
oh,
of
you're eating
course.
pizza, you're eating, no, that is poor people's food, I'm telling you.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Yoga with Preeti and Beyond. I'm so grateful that you are here. I have brought today Jyoti Ahire, and she is a nutritionist and she works here in Saddleback Hospital. So, welcome, Jyoti.
Thank you so much, Preeti, for inviting me. Namaste, everyone. Namaste to all Preeti's viewers on YouTube channel. And I would like to start this conversation by congratulating Preeti for starting this amazing, her new journey, just
Yeah,
YouTube channel. I mean, I'm so proud of you for doing that, because all of us just keep saying that I'm going to do this one day, I'm going to do that, and then it never happens. But she actually went ahead and took the step
yeah.
forward. So
Thank you so
congratulations.
much. Yeah. I know it's being so much fun, and I think that my viewer really need to know about nutrition, because like I'm in my 40 and my a lot of my viewers are also in 40s, 50s and 60s, so they need to know how does nutrition impact the effectiveness of a yoga practice.
So look, nutrition is a fundamental of a human being. Just of all of us being here, we
Yeah,
wouldn't be here without nutrition,
correct.
right? Like
Yeah,
whatever that we eat is what gives us energy to do everything or anything in life, so I can like this whatever you eat. And then I remember that my mom used to always say that whatever you're eating, आप कुछ भी खा रहे हो, जो भी आप खा रहे हो, so that's how you will behave, that's how
yeah.
you will come out. If you're eating a good food, that's how you will be, you will come across people. So it's very important to what you eat, and you should be watchful about, like, what are you eating and stuff. A lot of the times people say that I'm so tired and I'm just so
Yeah,
exhausted, right? And especially as you said, that 40s and 50s,
yeah.
we
That's a
have done so
challenge right
much. And
now.
then
Yeah.
the life of women is always very challenging. We go through so much ever since our, like, as soon as we start our teenage, uh, it just changes everything and it never ends. So that's just the beginning. And then 40s is another total different ball game.
Yep.
So we definitely need to focus and take care of ourselves, so eating right. Now I'm sure a lot of the time the people have questions like, what do you mean by eating right?
Correct. Yeah. That's what there's so much out there, right? Like, okay, what should be my balanced plate, right? I'm doing my yoga, doing an hour practice, doing Surya Namaskaras for like 21 Surya Namaskara, and my muscles are sore. So, like, what kind of a food I should actually eat after I'm doing my really heavy asanas, right? So I think those information is very important for my viewer to know that, okay, should I just eat a protein bar, or should I just go ahead and do some fruits, or what are the things we should be kind of post recovery of yoga and before we go into the yoga? So like what should we do?
So first of all, any exercises that you do,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is my personal experience. I mean, I'm not a yoga teacher or anything, but I have a degree in nutrition. Uh, and I have always been a fan of taking care of myself, how I feel, how
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, you really do a great job with that. Yeah.
I like to, and then I've experienced everything in my life, what works, what does not work. Nutrition did not just come like overnight to me. It has always been in my mind. I'm a person who is very like an observer.
Right, right.
And I like to see things, how they work, what their effects are, and how things are working, and why things are doing this way and that way.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, going to you're doing any exercises, weightlifting or anything for that matter. I would just do that in the morning, first thing, without having anything in my stomach.
Yeah,
That is,
that's really the ideal way. But like if you have a school going kids and like you gotta get ready, it's like okay, that's come. I mean, for me at least, I have seen like evening is the only time I can get to my thing. You know,
uh-huh.
like all women, we all have so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great to know that like okay, first thing in the morning, you just empty stomach, you just kind of go ahead and do the yoga practice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, right? Like because when I do it in the evening, I would just take some banana and just go into the practice. But like after the heavy practice, I'm kind of tired.
Tired. But then when do you, like, I would like to ask you a question, like when do you have your lunch? Because there should be at least, if I'm not wrong, 3 to 4 hours prior, you should not eat anything. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, yeah.
So then, by the time it's all, the food is
Processed,
digested
yeah,
and
yeah.
processed and stuff like that. So then your body is like, you should feel light. You should not feel heavy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if you look at it, Preeti, this is all about very like a common sense things. It's like if you're feeling like very heavy, you won't be, your body would not bend.
Correct.
You would
It's
not
like,
be
hey,
able to.
I'm so stiff.
Yeah, because if you're
Yeah.
if your stomach is full, the only thing that you would want to do at that point is just lay down on a
I
couch
swear, yeah.
and just take a nap or something. So if you are planning, if you know that you cannot get to do your exercises in the morning and the only time that you have is in the evening, then what I would do is I would have my lunch at noon. And if I know that I'm going to have time to do exercise at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, then I will not eat anything in between.
Okay.
If at all I feel hungry, I would just grab an apple.
Okay. Okay.
And that's it. And then I'll go and do my whatever exercise, be it yoga or be it gym or whatever. I would do that. But after that, going back to your question, is of course then it just depends what you have done. It doesn't matter. Weightlifting, running, or yoga asanas, anything, because your muscles now have worked hard.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So in that case, a lot of time, people have this misconception of having just protein after a workout, after yoga. But you know what? That's how your body metabolizes carbohydrates first.
Yeah.
And then comes protein and then the fat. So that's how they are reserves, So you need to, when after your workout, you need to have a portion of protein and portion of carbohydrates.
Carbs, okay.
Because the carbohydrates are easily available for your body to use up.
Yeah, and you need that right after a very heavy workout.
They just
and all
come
that.
out right away.
Right.
If not, then it is going to look for that energy from your muscle again.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And then you're going to feel more fatigue because protein takes a while for it to process and digest and be available to provide energy for your body.
So like basically 50% protein and 50% of carb kind of just balance out?
I would go, you could do that and have some fibers,
Okay, fruits and
the fruit, Usually the nutritional experts, that's what they say, when for your meals, just the regular meals, this is how you fill your plate.
Correct.
So you have like a bigger portion of fiber, then it goes protein, and then the carbohydrates.
Yeah. But for us, is like for me, I want like my chapatis, my parathas first.
You can have chapatis and parathas.
I know, it's kind of.
Believe me.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I think that's really good to know, right? Like, hey, when you are going for a workout, let's say 5 o'clock, okay, what is the duration you should not be eating? And then what should be your post-workout or yoga meal, right? So that's really great information, I think. One of the thing too, right now we just got out of COVID. There's so much of mental stress because people were so isolated. So I wanted to ask you, like, what role does nutrition play in supporting mental clarity and mindfulness?
Oh my God, believe me. Look, this is how it starts to me because, first of all, I never liked cooking
Okay.
growing up.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. And thanks to COVID, actually, when when we had nothing else to do, and then we would just go on
Yeah.
YouTube,
I just figure out this
just
recipe.
recipes and
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
those, and surprisingly, they turned out so good. And then that was the time. Sometimes, that's what they say, right? Everything happens for good. And that was our time to just reflect upon what we have done, what we have been doing, where we are messing up, what could we do better, and things like that. And that's how my journey started in enjoying cooking.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah.
And nowadays, we can give 100 excuses or reasons for not having time to cook,
So, like,
right?
what are the specific foods actually which will help reduce stress and promote relaxation? So, like in yoga, we say, okay, do the alternate nostril breathing, the anulom vilom
Yes,
karo, so
right,
then you will have a mental clarity. पर वो सिर्फ 10 मिनट के लिए ही रहती है, उसके
right.
बाद वापस आ जाती है. तो मैं
Yeah.
कहा, अब क्या करें? So, like, what is the like a food we should have like for stress and stress reduction and promote
Yeah.
relaxations?
So the thing is, like, that's how I was starting this, is like, it's part of this, it's a whole package, right? You're not going to just like have food, like how that food is prepared. That what will also benefit of how you feel.
Okay.
So, it's like when you're cooking, you are using all your positivity into it,
Correct, correct.
all your thoughts, right? When I'm cooking, I usually like to chant some mantras, or have some bhajans or things like that.
Yeah, that's a very
Some
good point. Yeah,
positivity is
like
going in the cooking,
in the food. Yeah,
in
in the
the food,
food. Yeah.
because that is what is, we are eating that, our family is eating that.
Correct, correct.
And if we are cooking that in anger and anxiety, guess what?
That gets into the
That's
food.
get into the food,
Yeah.
and we are
Yeah.
eating that food, and what is going to produce another set
You
of
know,
anxiety and anger.
I never knew this, by the way, and I just recently learned that. I'm like, what the hell I was doing for so long? Like, everyone is angry now.
Yeah, I know, right? And when you enjoy that, of course the food is tasting good, okay, and also you'll see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
difference,
Correct, correct.
the way you feel and your family feels. It's just an
Agree.
amazing experience. So we need to just prioritize cooking. This is also a yoga, actually. Anything, any action that you take in your life,
Yeah.
any karmas that you're doing, if you consider that as an yoga, then you will put all your positive
love and
into
energy
and
into it.
love
Correct,
into it,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
It's not only one thing. Yoga is everything. Yoga is
Correct.
uniting with Atma and Paramatma. That's yoga is called. The meaning in Sanskrit, yoga, that's what it means. Uniting,
Correct, correct. Yeah.
and focus and concentration. So going back to your question, when you are doing that, that sattvikta comes into the food.
Correct. Yeah.
Am I right?
And that's actually a very good point you are saying, because you know what, most of the time when we are cooking, we kind of come out of after office, now I have to cook, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to cook, I have to cook, and you
yeah.
know, and then that is a bad food,
Yeah, that
right?
is-
So I think that's really
it's like
good for my
poisoning,
audience. So
yeah.
wherever you are cooking, you have to
Yeah.
give love to
Yeah,
the food. I
food.
mean, that's the number one
Yeah,
you're saying, right?
exactly.
See, even the nutritionist saying that,
Yeah.
right? That hey, everything starts from your mental energy,
yes.
and then it goes into your food. So
And
yeah, that's a great point.
So this is all interconnected. Everything goes hand in hand. Then you're exercising, right? Then you're eating right. What I have noticed is, if I'm exercising every day, and if I for a month or two, and then suddenly if I'm not exercising, so when I'm exercising, when I'm eating the food on the plate, I'm thinking twice if I'm taking extra portion, because
Okay.
I know how many calories I have burnt and what it takes to burn those calories.
Those calories, yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, if a person is not exercising,
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't know. The person just doesn't know how much what it takes
Right.
to burn those calories. They just keeps eating and eating and eating. So that's how, it goes hand in hand. You have to make sure what you eat. So the sattvic food is definitely, I mean, I'm not against being non-vegetarians, but I am vegetarian, and in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, vegetarian food is the best. It'll keep your mental, uh, what do you call, mental ability of thinking, or it'll just keep you at peace,
You know,
if you
one of the
notice.
thing actually I noticed, I follow BK Shivani as well, and she was saying that let's say you eat chicken. So like my kids love chicken, right? So they're like, think of it that when they were preparing the chicken, so they kill the
Yeah.
yeah. So what happens then? That scared. Feeling
Feeling.
went into the flesh of
Yeah.
that, and when you cook and you eat it, it actually has that feeling
Feeling.
in it
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So so that's why they were like, hey, eat
Mm.
vegetarian. But
Yeah.
like here in America, it's kind of like it's all mixed up,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
maybe they say, hey, first energize your food with your good prayer, right? There's
Prayers.
the, hey,
Yes.
you just have to bow down
Yeah.
before you start.
Yeah,
I
that's
think that's
exactly, that's what I do. I mean, and I've
yeah.
started doing that, and it, believe me, Preeti, it has helped me tremendously.
Oh,
When
really?
I'm
Good,
saying
good.
the prayer
Uh-huh.
before meal, um, I'm actually saying that mantra before praying, and visualizing that whatever the food that I'm eating is actually going into all my vital organs and doing what it's supposed to do, give me the energy that it
Energy,
needs to
yes,
give
yes,
me,
yeah, yeah.
positive energy to do the right things and right karmas. So this is all package of from literally from cooking, what you're cooking and
Yeah.
what you're eating, and with what mindset you're
You are
eating
eating,
that.
yeah. And I think that's actually a great because there's a lot of information available in on the internet, like okay, what food does what. But like what you are bringing here for my audience is a holistic way of eating, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, from the cooking, you when you put it on the plate, you really wanted to also focus on the food you are eating, not like watching TV, okay,
Yeah.
right?
And
So
now like watching
yeah,
all
or
those
your phone is next to
killing
you.
and those
Yeah,
movies with lot of
right,
shooting going
right.
on. No, 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 no. It's just going to not, how can you be at peace when you're 24 hours, 24/7 watching that kind
Correct,
of
yeah.
stuff and eating, and you're not going to be at peace at all. You need to put yourself
Hmm,
into that
hmm.
environment,
Right,
or
right.
if not, then create that environment to be at peace, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that, we always say, hey, cut down on a little bit of sugar, like be mindful of what you're eating
Right.
when you are working out. That's like one of the things they always say, right? That just lessen your tea intake. I mean, if you just even cut down on your chai
Yeah.
every day, bhai, you are actually saving 3 teaspoons
Of
of
sugar.
sugar.
Yes.
So that's good, like that is a good start. Like you
Yes.
don't want to cut down everything right
Yeah.
away, just go with slow approach and then holistic approach, the way she's saying, right? I think that is also one of the things we are not realizing, that when we don't have a good intention when we are eating the food, it doesn't go and settle in and give you energy,
Energy
right?
the way
Yeah,
it's supposed to, right? Because eating food is a yajna.
yeah,
Am I
yeah,
right? It's a
right, right.
yajna that we are doing. So our stomach has agni, right?
Agni, yeah, yeah, the
It's
fire,
the
yeah,
fire. So
yeah.
what we are putting into, what ahuti we are putting into that
That's a very good
agni,
analogy. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's going to just do that, right?
yeah, so it
Like
matters,
it
right? So,
matters. Like
and
when
with
you put a
what
ghee,
intention
yeah.
you are putting that.
Right, right. Like,
So, so you need to, because
interesting.
we don't, our culture, we are so blessed. our
Oh, yeah.
our roots, that what we come from, is an amazing thing. I mean, so many times I just think what my grandparents used to eat.
Right, right.
Yeah, they did not want to eat anything heavy in the night, if you
Right,
notice.
yeah,
If they
yeah.
had a heavy meal in the afternoon, I remember my grandpa would tell my mom that I don't want to eat anything, I'll just take a cup of glass of milk.
Yeah, I think, and also awareness, right? Like
Ha.
they were aware somehow when we grew up. I mean, somehow we were all in the studies, like padhte raho.
Yeah.
ये सब exercise was the last thing to do. खाने पे जो मिल रहा है खा
I
लिया,
know.
बस पढ़ रहे,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
तो
yeah.
हम लोग भूल गए,
Yeah.
and I think that now we are kind of coming back to
Back
it,
to, because we have seen it, like people
Yeah,
in
yeah.
India. If somebody is watching this video in India, let me tell you this also, because being in India and then looking everything, growing up there, what we saw everything there, right? What is good and what is, we did not know good from bad.
Correct, correct, yeah.
Right? In order for you to know bad, you need to know what is good.
Correct,
Am I right?
correct,
The good
yeah.
is not good until you see the bad. Right? So when we
Right.
came here in the United States and we enjoyed all this, remember in the beginning,
Oh,
the
kya
pizza,
kya,
the
I know,
burger,
I
the
know. Coke.
fries,
I was like, oh, the Coke is
Cokes
coming.
and
In my office, they
this
had like
and
a
that.
juice and Coke
Yeah.
free. So I'm like, okay, this is mine.
Yeah, and that is a standard. It's like a style, right?
Yeah,
In like,
yeah,
oh,
of
you're eating
course.
pizza, you're eating. No, 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 no. That is poor people's food. I'm telling you, okay? So that is not even a standard. I'm telling you this. So now we can go back and see that whatever that
Mm,
we were doing, that
mm.
was the best thing.
Best thing, yeah, best thing
I
to do.
remember, Preeti, my parents never ate out at a restaurant. I don't know
I
about
know.
what your parents in
Yeah, I
your
mean
time.
that was not the thing in
Yeah,
the past. Like they were just like, I mean it was like maybe once in a blue moon.
yeah.
और कोई शादी में पार्टी हो रही है, शादी हो रही है तो आप
तो
खाने को जा रहे
no,
हो.
वो
That's
जब
different,
जब
you
वो
know.
जब शादियों में जब खाना
हाँ
खाते तो वही बाहर का खाना
वही
होता
होता
था.
था, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, हम लोगों ने
No,
कहाँ
we
ऐसे किया
never
है?
ate. But now I think that because look, just because they did not eat out, they did so much good just by not eating out to their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
bodies and to their families' bodies. You know what I mean? पर अभी तो हम लोग बाहर चलो हफ्ते में एक बार, like people who are
Agree,
working, they're
agree.
eating out, like who don't know what mindset that person is who is cooking your food.
Correct, correct. That's true.
What
That's
calories, the butter, this, that they are putting into, you never know. When we are cooking, I take everything in my hand.
right, right.
Right? That's how my attitude. I don't care like if it's a boy or a girl. Now I'm telling my boys, I have 2 boys, and I'm telling them better start learning cooking, because the advantage of cooking is you get to make what you like to eat.
Correct, correct. And also like it's important for them to learn too, right? Because like otherwise, and I think one of the thing too, they always say, right, that when we go into restaurants and when we eat outside, let's say we are eating twice in a week, but the food tastes really awesome, but we don't realize कि उस food में कितना तेल है.
Yeah.
वो तो हम भूल ही जाते हैं,
Yeah.
वो food इतना अच्छा taste कर रहा है.
Yeah.
और फिर जब हम आते हैं, then I feel like, oh, we are so heavy feeling.
Yeah.
क्योंकि हमने इतना तेल खा लिया है.
Yeah, I
Right.
did not know until I studied nutrition that the fat gives that
Heaviness, yeah?
no, the texture and the taste.
Taste, okay,
तू
yeah.
तेल किसी भी चीज में तुम ज्यादा तेल या घी डाल दो
अपने आप
तो अपने आप ही टेस्ट अच्छा लगेगा. You don't need a special art to cook them. You just put
exactly.
more oil or more ghee and then you're good. Your food is going to taste good, but that's not what it should be, and then that's why you're getting into all these health challenges, the blood pressure and the cholesterol and all that stuff that I see day in and day out. Let me tell you that I work in the hospital, right? And I'm seeing, unfortunately, nowadays, there are so many patients who are on a renal diet.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And they're like young. They're very young, in 40s.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So, the very thing that should keep us alive is becoming a reason for our deaths also. Because we are just not paying attention.
That's what we are eating, yeah.
We are not being intentional about what we are eating, what we
Yeah.
are putting into our bodies. Unfortunately, when like you're driving Tesla, but like if you're driving a Mercedes or any nice car, Ferrari or Lamborghini, you want to put premium in your
oils,
tank.
right? Yeah, of course, yeah.
Premium,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know you can replace that Texas, Lexus or Mercedes or whatever that you're driving. But
you cannot replace your body.
Replace this. You cannot replace this.
And I think,
and we are taking it so lightly.
Yeah, and I think that it's a responsibility for our generation and the generation which are growing, as you are saying to your boys that, hey, you should learn cooking. I think that's a really a great comment.
Yeah.
Like, लड़की हो या लड़का हो, सबको आनी चाहिए cooking.
Yeah.
Because अभी ये नहीं पता है कि हम जो बाहर से जो packaged food आ रहा है, क्योंकि आप वहाँ restaurant में भी we are eating frozen food, right? It's a frozen food. They just kind of warm it up and give it to you. So I think it's a really a great comment that, hey, eat it I eat in the house. I make sure that the family is involved in
Yeah,
the cooking,
yes, family is
not
involved
like
in the
okay,
cooking.
one person is doing
Yes,
it. So
yes,
that's
yeah,
another thing too,
yeah.
right? Like
And you create that environment, I would
yeah,
ask my kids, hey,
yeah,
let's go, what would you like to eat, let's cook this, go out together for shopping, let's do the grocery
yeah,
shopping
yeah. That's a
together,
great point.
things like that. I know we don't have time, but hey, if we are not this is our priority. Job is not our priority, right? Our living, our being here is a
Yeah, yeah.
priority. Everything will fall in place later.
Yeah, but I think that's like a what you just brought the point as a mindfulness, right? So you're saying that hey, job is there, but job is not your
Yeah.
life, right? Like our body first, our
Ourselves
responsibility is to
is
take care of our
about,
body,
yeah,
right? And everything else will fall in
fall in
place,
place, yeah.
right? So, but what happens is like in this stressful life, even for me also this happens, right? Like when there's so much stress, I forget to even stand up from my chair because I'm back to back in my meetings and
Meetings,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So I think that having that mindfulness is very, very important
Yeah.
now, which plays a lot of um, I mean key role in nutrition too, right? अभी जैसे कुकी रखी है कि वो बनाना रखा है तो क्या खाओगे?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But let me tell you, Preeti, अगर आप एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हो ना,
हाँ, तब आप नहीं खाते हो.
तब नहीं आप खाओगे.
That's actually a really good point too, right? मैं कभी-कभी ये मैं कहा इतनी मेहनत करके
Yeah.
like yeah, you just burn 200
And
calorie
then,
and
yeah,
now you are
yeah.
just eating that cookie.
Cookie, yeah.
गए
So,
काम से.
गए काम से, right?
You know?
So, like, yeah, I know I work in the nutrition in the hospital, right? So, we have a shift for the hospital in patients. And then, once in a blue moon, once in a while, I mean, every weekend or something, when there is not very busy, he would come and he would make nice cakes for us
अच्छा.
with like decoration and everything.
Oh,
बहुत अच्छे
cool.
से लेके आ जाता है. And when we were like new, me and my coworker, we kind of just took a piece. I'm not a very good fan of sweets, the desserts. But she is very fond of desserts. So she would eat the whole thing and she would look at me and she would be like, Jyoti, you're not eating this? I'm like, no, because I did so much this morning, I worked out for like an hour and a half and now I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to ruin that by eating this. So that helps.
So one of the thing too, like I have seen a lot of people go into intermittent fasting. I mean, even my daughter was trying intermittent fasting. I was like, so she was like a 12 hours, nothing, only water, and then just you only eat it for like 6 hour duration or something, and then again go for 12 hours. I was like, what is that? So you have any comment on this intermittent fasting?
When I was studying nutrition, I came across an article that those are all scientific based articles, right?
Yeah.
So they are not
Papers, yeah.
research papers. They are not just the Google studies, and that's the very reason I decided, because I have a background, master's in chemistry and microbiology, bachelor's. But the reason I went into studying nutrition is because I wanted that more credible information on nutrition.
Right, right.
So that's why I studied nutrition. So where I came across this article saying that there have not been any clinical trials done on intermittent fasting.
Oh, really? Wow, wow. So, I mean, why this is a propaganda on this intermittent fasting, you know?
Look, अपना जो intermittent fasting चलता था, can I tell you? हम जो मंडे का फास्ट करते हैं,
Yeah.
थर्सडे का फास्ट करते हैं, एकादशी का फास्ट करते हैं.
That is like,
I think even if we continue doing that, that is good enough. Intermittent fasting, I'm totally against it. I'm not perfect in my body, but I guess I can say that late 40s, I think I'm happy the way that.
And someone was saying 72-hour water fasting.
No,
I was like, मैं तो मर ही जाऊंगी अगर, you know,
because
people are doing it. They are saying there was like a lot of Instagram going on right now that if you do a water fasting for 72 hours, your body actually generate a very, very good quality stem cells. I'm like, okay,
this is
a new thing,
in
you know.
our culture, our Hinduism. I'm not being religious here, but Hinduism is just a way of life. It's not a religion. It's just a human way of behavior, how you behave. So they have done an amazing job of putting this. Like Shravan Masam would come and then you fast.
You fast, yeah.
And then you are basically fasting is you're giving break
to your digestion
liver,
system,
your intestines. To process, just get the, detoxify. When you're fasting, you're detoxifying your system automatically. You're detoxifying your liver, everything.
Correct.
So when you're eating after that, of course, nutritious food, not pizza and burger.
So you like just like, hey, yeah, body loves
Yeah,
that.
then
Yeah.
your body is absorbing those nutrients
Hmm.
very well, and then you see the results.
Correct. Correct. That's a
Because
good
how
point.
you feel inside, it will come on your face. You
Face,
don't
yeah.
need to go out and do those Botox, and we are talking about 40s and 50s women, every day, and I see women going for Botox right, left and center. I'm like, why? If you're eating right, if you're exercising, and it'll show up on your face, your mental attitude, your the positivity, वो अपने आप ही वो खूबसूरती अपने चेहरे पे आ जाएगी.
But well, like people wanted to go for quick fix, right? Like even I like your point on the intermittent fasting thing. As in our Hinduism, like we have Monday fasting, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes Friday too. So, but you wanted to do this as a way of life. ऐसा
Like,
नहीं कि भाई 3 months you just go for a rigorous
yeah.
intermittent fasting and then you are again on
Again,
sodas
और
and
फिर
pizzas. You
तुम्हारा
know, then
देखो,
that's no point.
तुम्हारा
Yeah.
माइंडसेट कैसे हो जाता है, देखो.
Yeah.
तुम बोलते हैं कि I have come across people like that. I've done my 16-hour fasting. Now I deserve ice cream. Why?
Then you all nullified. Everything nullified.
क्यों,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I like, look, you do not अपने बॉडी को ना, बेचारी को, do not shock the body. Because you're messing up your metabolism. Your body just does not know how to react, because this is how you were not born with this intermittent fasting.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
your body is not used to it. Just do whatever that your body is used to it. Be mindful of what you're eating. Have more fibers into your food, proteins, and apna jo,
Carb.
I don't know how it is in north, but in Maharashtra it used to be, the plate used to be like itna sa chawal, like this much rice, plate. That too we would get that towards the very end.
And yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they would cook very little rice. They would not cook too much rice.
Acha.
Ha. And then roti, sabzi, dal,
Dal,
because
yeah, yeah.
the protein dal. फिर थोड़ा सा dahi,
Right, right.
yogurt
At
would
the end,
give you
yeah, yeah.
probiotics,
Probiotics,
right?
yeah.
Then you will have these what do you call those, flaxseed chutney,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The green chutneys
the
too,
green
right?
chutneys,
Yeah.
so these, and then you would have nimbu, because that is another antioxidant.
Correct. Yeah.
And if you eat vitamin C after your meal, it does not let the sugar go into your bloodstream right away.
That's a good point, right? Yeah.
So things like that, that was the best thing in our culture. But nowadays it's like, कुछ भी खा लो, कोई सोच ही नहीं रहा है, ये
Yeah,
भी
and that's why we are seeing all of those, like as you were saying that in your hospital you are seeing people coming in 40s in a renal diets and all, right? I think that it is actually much more prevalent now compared to like maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So we need to even further mindful of what we are doing to
Yes,
our body,
bodies.
because everything is America is like packaged food,
Yeah,
right? Like so it's also dangerous, right, for us to
so many of those phosphates and everything in the packaging food.
Right,
The food
right.
is already processed. To me, that's what I focus on cooking my own food, Preeti, is because I don't want to add another processed ingredients in it.
Correct, right, right.
I don't want to add those phosphates and things like, I mean, it's okay, ठीक है, थोड़ा काम होता है, but if you enjoy doing it, see, when you will enjoy, when you know why you're doing it.
Right, right, right.
It's not only khana, but what is the outcome that you're looking for from doing that will make you do and those right things in your life.
So one more comment I wanted to add, this is really my last question here too, that like people have those dietary restrictions, like they go their gluten-free diet, vegan diet. I mean, how they can ensure that they are getting enough nutrition, because like now when you are into these type of diets, you are very restricting yourself from the regular food too, right?
It's very mindset. In fact, if you are on a gluten-free, if you have a celiac disease and stuff, it's a totally different thing.
Acha,
I mean, then you have to stay away from the gluten. But some people have really severe gluten allergies. And again, back in the days when we were growing up, Preeti, if you notice, this is my thing, that's what I think, that we never had peanut allergies. We never heard of
That's true, right? That was the first time I heard here in America.
Thing never,
peanut allergy? ये क्या होता है,
this thing never existed.
Yeah, yeah.
What I'm thinking, all of this is to blame is the MSGs.
MSGs, yeah, yeah.
you know. So these are all modified plants, they are doing everything, these lab things, and I'm sure some genes are altering into the grains too, because that's what
Correct,
they are
correct. That's
doing, right?
true. That's true.
And that's when the product that it comes, it's so altered in their genes that it's going to cause some thing in your body, if you're sensitive. So
Yeah, I agree. And
sorry, go ahead, what are you saying?
no, no, I think the one of the thing was too, right? Like now, wo jo atta, the flour we get, like a wheat flour, and if you keep it for like 4 hours, it starts kind of sugar is
Yeah.
coming out,
Yes,
right? So we're
yes.
like, before 40 years ago, my dad will actually go to a
हाँ,
place where
पूरा
they
वो
will just like
ग्राइंड करके
grind
आ
karke,
जाते
they'll come
हैं,
back.
या
I mean, we don't know what they're putting in the package, right? And because
या
it has to sustain for its sustainable, its life shelf life is more
या
than I think 6 months or maybe
yeah,
two
more
years. I
2
don't know.
years, yeah,
So
maybe,
like,
yeah.
पता नहीं क्या छा रहे हैं,
क्या कर,
तो
so there is so much going on in here. So, but then the good thing, again, going back to our bajra,
yeah, that's a very
the
good point. Yeah,
bajra,
yeah.
jowar,
Millet
millets
paste.
is
Yeah,
an amazing place. And then vegetables.
yeah,
The
yeah.
people, a lot of people, I get this question like, then how do you, because I'm vegetarian, and people ask me that, how do you get your proteins? Oh my God, we have such a good form of proteins. All our lentils, our
Yeah,
rajma,
right.
chole,
Yeah, yeah.
kidney
Kidney
beans,
beans, yeah, black eye
and
beans,
black
and
eyed
so many.
peas,
Yeah.
and your chickpeas. And the best thing about our vegetarian protein is it comes with fibers,
That's true. That's
you know.
true. And easy to
Um,
digest as well,
and it
right?
is
Like,
easy to digest.
yeah,
It
like,
does not sit in your stomach for months,
right, right,
whereas the
right.
animal protein sits in your stomach for at least good month or so, that before it gets out of your system. So that is the best way, and you feel light.
Yeah, yeah, you feel light.
You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
light,
that's the key.
and then when you feel light, then you can do you're energetic. You can do
Mm,
everything. You do take care of the kids. You do take care of the home. And believe me, girls, women, if you're watching this,
mm.
God has made us in such a way that we can handle all of this stuff. Um,
I agree. Yeah.
so we just have to prioritize, take care of your own self also by doing this. And I mean, Preeti, we were talking about, when we were getting here, is that in the chakkar of proving to world that we can do this, we put ourselves so much into trouble.
Right. We are the last one,
We
right?
are the last
To take
ones
care,
to
but
take
they're,
care of that.
yeah.
I can do job, I can run these meetings, I can take care of the kids, I have to go to the school to do the teachers meeting and take kids to the doctor's appointment and
Mm,
everything. It's like a
I
chauffeur being
swear.
here in the
Yeah.
United States. It's not easy for women. I respect all of you. I respect all of the women, especially after coming here, and I see women here in the United States. They work so hard. So
Yeah, no, that's really a good comment too. And I know that like women have taken so much responsibility. I mean, and from a traditionally, like from billions of years, like the taking care of home, taking care of kids are still the woman responsibility. Not only Indian, I think I have seen a lot of American women
oh
too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, any closing thought for my viewers? I think this is a
Uh,
great conversation. I love the way you have actually said, hey, being mindful of what you're eating, putting good energy into the food, because I'm nowadays in lot more in thoughts and energy
mhm.
work. And I thought that this was, I never paid attention to any of that. So, I think that bringing that to my viewers is really awesome because there is so much information out there. Okay, ये खाना है, वो खाना है, कैसे खाना है, पर लेकिन like कि mindfulness
Yeah.
towards the food. I think thank you for bringing that to my viewers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, when you're eating, my just closing thought is when you're fasting one day, I would recommend just fast one day.
every week.
Every week.
Yes,
Just pick a day,
which you,
fast,
yeah,
and then what will happen, because automatically you're not eating onion, you're not eating garlic, you're not eating all that heavy food.
right,
So
right.
automatically that satvikta would again come into you. You'll
Yeah,
feel so good about yourself, and again, people would be like, okay, what should we eat? So look, you need to have the food that has antioxidants. Okay, because the antioxidants would repair your body and
Mm.
rejuvenate your body. It will get rid of the inflammation.
Right, right.
To add to that, to get rid of your inflammation, because inflammation is the root cause for everything. All these diseases, the chronic diseases,
Inflammation in
inflammation
the
is the
within
root
the
cause.
body. Yeah.
So, of course, when you do yoga asanas, you do exercises, of course, it's going to help get rid of that inflammation. But after workout, if you have some omega-3 sources of omega-3s, you could get that from chia seeds, the vegetarian. You could get that from walnuts. You could get that from avocados,
Hmm.
so things like that. Just find those foods, and there's a bunch of information if you look for it
Correct,
online.
correct. Yeah.
But these are just a few things that you can incorporate in your life, in your nutrition, and that would do so much better. So antioxidants, omega-3s are very, 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 very important in your diet.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Like, I think it's really a great closing thought. And thank you so much, Jyoti, for giving your time and sharing your thoughts. I mean, she is really an amazing person. And I think that the wisdom she brought in here had a totally a different aspect of nutrition. So I really appreciate that. So thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you,
much.
Preeti,
Thank you
for
so much.
having me. Thank you all, everybody, for watching us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hope we added some value.
Yeah, you have. You definitely have. And please subscribe to my channel and like me on Facebook. We will meet again. Namaste.
Namaste.